I would describe the card counter as not your typical everyday movie, but it is a movie that I think is necessary. It is basically a man who was in the military who had to do some things that he wasn't comfortable doing. He ended up getting punished for the things he had to do. And then he's a little bit damaged. But everybody don't see how damaged he is. But the viewer does. And he's really good at playing poker because he might be a little damaged. He has a poker face. I really enjoyed the script. I read it. I read it 3 times. First of all, I didn't fall asleep the first time I read it, which is saying a lot for it because normally when I read a script, the first time, I'm out. I fall asleep by page 10 if it's not thrilling enough. And it had me curious. I was very curious. Like, who does Paul Schrader want me to be in? Maybe it's because he didn't necessarily tell me if it was a comedy or a drama or what it was. He just said, I really would love for you to read this script. So Paul Schrader's asking me to read a script. I'm going to read the script. So the first time I read it, I was intrigued, but I didn't quite understand. The second time I read it, I understood everything, but then I was like, well, why me? Then the third time I read it because this is my process. The third time I read it, I was like, ooh, I would probably knock this out the park. And it'd be a great way for people to see me in a different light, but still bring the Haddish through. And so that's why I decided to do this movie. Lalinda is quite the character. She has a lot of personality. And her job in life, as of right now in the movie anyways, is to recruit poker players to gather them up to play games and have her investors invest in them playing. And then they make money and they split it up amongst themselves. Bill, or Will-a-tell, is of interest to Lalinda because he is so good at poker. She has been scouting him, watching him. She's kind of like what I like to say, like a vulture and or an owl. You watch your prey for a little while. See how they move, maneuver. Okay, this one's gonna be a good catch. And then you come in for the kill. And that's what Lalinda does. So she's watched him play a few times and she knows that he can count cards. She knows that he can read people's body language. She knows he knows the game. And she knows that's gonna make her money. At first, their relationship is strictly professional and business-wise, but she's very curious about him. She wants to know, is he like some kind of crazy criminal? What's his thing? Because he's clearly not normal. He's not like everybody else. And the way he communicates is very awkward. He's socially awkward in a way. And it's something, she knows that he's hiding something. And that is intriguing to Lalinda. Working with Oscar Isaac was tremendous learning lesson for me. First of all, he brought so much. Like, what I love about Oscar is he knows how to be still and yet tell you everything without saying anything, if that makes sense. You can just see from his body language, the way his eyes dart from side to side, how he grabs a glass, how he moves. Like, it's saying so much about the character, about where that person is in their mind. I'm still learning how to do that. I think in real life I do it very well, but if somebody's like, Tiffany, tell me everything without saying nothing, well, I'm gonna be like, I'm very physical. But there's so much that you can tell in the stillness. And that's what I was learning from Oscar, how to be still, be present, and still be able to communicate. That was beautiful to watch. Paul challenged me on a lot of levels, personal, business-wise, especially with my art. You know, as a stand-up comic, you work so hard and a lot of times on your own, developing your persona, your niche, you know, your thing. And he basically was like, throw all that away. That's not what this is. And I'm going to need you to be this type of person. Get rid of the singing and dancing. And I'm like, I'm not singing and dancing. But I guess I have been for so long, I don't even realize I'm doing it. And it was a challenge. What I enjoyed most about working with Paul is that he kept me grounded. He let me know when I was getting a little sing-songy. He let me know when I was getting a little bit too jokey, and to bring it in. He kept me in the drama, but also allowed me to stretch a little, because the character was likable. But he showed me how to be me without being me super big. And that was pleasant. It was so good to have that Kirk with the C in there, because it gave Bill an opportunity to see his younger self. And it pushed him out of his comfort zone. And it was like, yeah, I should seize my moments and not be afraid to feel, and not be afraid to be present, and not restrict my real emotions and feelings. Oscar Isaac, his butt, he was doing all this prestidigitation with the cards, doing all these tricks and stuff, and like flipping them and cutting the deck, and then like the way he was shuffling, I'm like, okay, Oscar, did you take a class? He's like, well, I have a someone who's showing me things. I was like, okay, that's what's up. But he became like an expert. I became good enough to maybe put a small hurting on you. What I love about this story is it is possible. Card counter is possible. There probably is somebody like that in the world. Probably has happened. We just don't know about it. Or maybe Paul read a magazine article or a newspaper article about something like this and was like, ran with it. Who knows? Maybe he knew somebody that was like that. I don't know. But what I do know is it makes you think, and it's intriguing. And that's what I like. I hope that audiences take away that I'm amazing. No, I hope when people watch this movie that they take away a different perspective of our veterans, of the gambling world, and that you never really know where somebody is in life. And you really should probably, really take a look at somebody and ask a few more questions. I think it's so important for people to go see it in the theaters, because a lot of us need the experience of being in a room full of strangers and going on a roller coaster, a journey together. And we don't have to know each other, but we've all had that experience. And I think that's so important. Now, I don't know about everybody else, but I know I like to have that kind of experience of the, ooh, ah, what, dang, that's crazy, with a bunch of other people. For me, that's fulfilling.